Today, I want to share some of the features of EC2 I have learned over using Amazon Web Service for years. While many of you might already familiar with these features, I hope you discover at least one new thing from this video. If you do, I'll consider it a success. Additionally, please share your experiences and any features you love that should be added to this list. I will share the advantages of each feature and some pitfalls or considerations you need to be aware of while using them. The first feature I want to share is to change the EC2 instance type. Amazon Web Service provides a way to resize or change the instance type of an existing instance. For example, you can choose the instance type that is too small or underutilized. One of the common pitfalls is that if your instance is part of the auto-scaling group, auto-scaling will mark that instance as unhealthy and try to replace it with a healthy instance. So before performing the instance type change, always suspend the scaling process. The second feature is to get system logs. System logs help diagnose kernel problems, service configuration issues, or any issue that makes your instance unreachable. One thing you need to be aware of is that these logs are not real time. Only the most recent 64 KB of posted output is stored. You can also access the logs via the serial console, but the instance type must be Nitro based. The third feature is replacing root volumes. This is a lifesaver for me and helpful in cases where your system is not reachable after the kernel upgrade. If you took a snapshot of the same volume, you could replace it with just one click. You can restore the instance's root volume to its initial launch state from a specific snapshot or an Amazon machine image. The catch with this feature is that the snapshot needs to be from the same volume, and during the restore process, the RAM content is erased during the reboot. The fourth feature is connect to EC2 instance if you lose SSH key pair. Amazon has well-documented steps for connecting to an EC2 instance if you lose the SSH key pair. The easiest one is to copy the script under user data. Use the following command to get the public part of the key from the private key pair. For this feature, I learned from experience that you need to stop and start the instance. If you are using public IP, that IP will be lost, so the best practice is to use the elastic IP. The fifth feature is EC2 Instance Connect. It's a simple and secure way to connect to an EC2 instance without sharing and managing SSH keys. The way it works is when you connect to an instance using EC2 Instance Connect, the API pushes a one-time use SSH public key to the instance metadata where it remains for 60 seconds. An IAM policy attached to your IAM user authorizes your IAM user to push the public key to the instance metadata. The SSH daemon uses authorized keys command and authorized keys command user configured when instance connect is installed to look up the public key from the instance metadata for authentication and connect you to the instance. I haven't found any major drawbacks with this feature. However, it is often disabled in many organizations because they use their own methods, such as connecting to instances via a Bastion host. Sixth feature is attaching multiple elastic network interface to the instance. Depending upon the type of instance, we can attach multiple elastic network interface to the instance. The use case of this feature is in EKS, which uses the secondary IP addresses by assigning an IP address to your pod, and these pods will act as first-class citizens of your VPC. The catch of using this feature is the elastic network interface is an availability zone scoped. When you create an elastic network interface, you are creating it into a specific availability zone within your VPC. You can't move that elastic network interface to another availability zone. Seventh feature is attach multiple security group. Security groups are attached to elastic network interfaces. I think we use this in loose terms where we mention security group is attached to an instance, whereas in reality, it's attached to an elastic network interfaces. As mentioned in feature 6, an instance can have multiple elastic network interface depending upon the instance type, meaning it can have multiple security groups attached. Use case: one elastic network interface could be used for external traffic, and a different elastic network interface could be used for internal traffic. Eighth feature is instance termination protection. I found this feature handy to prevent the instance from being deleted accidentally. Ninth feature is attach or replace an IAM role to an existing instance. Anyone using Amazon Web Service for 5 years knows this feature's importance. Earlier, if we needed to modify the existing IAM role attached to an instance, we needed to rebuild the instance from the snapshot. 10th or final feature is launch more like this. This, for me, is a kind of hidden feature. We generally use the infrastructure as code tool to ensure the new instance we launch have the same configuration. This feature enables you to use a current instance as a base for launching other instances. This option automatically populates the Amazon EC2 launch instance wizard with specific configuration details from the selected instance. While the launch more like this feature in Amazon Web Service EC2 is useful, it has limitations. Specifically, it doesn't copy the number of elastic network interfaces or the storage configurations beyond the default settings. This can be a bit frustrating, especially when you're aiming for an exact replication of an instance. Thank you everyone for watching the video. If you liked it, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. For more content like this, check out my book, Cracking the DevOps Interview. You can find the link in the description below.